Hey everybody, Matthew Frey. One of the most commonly asked questions on the internet about relationships, and one of the most commonly asked search terms like on Google or another search engine that lead people to at least my content, is this question, presumably from men: why is my wife never happy no matter what I do? The idea being my wife has emotional issues and finds reason to complain about me no matter what, that she unfairly picks on me, that she overlooks my positives and hyper focuses on my negatives, that she's constantly critical, and again, just like sort of unfairly demonizing me as like the bad guy in the relationship. And I get it, because in my marriage, it's exactly the sorts of things that I thought and felt too. So I wanted to talk about it today because I don't know how obvious this is to everybody, but this is something that I discuss with coaching clients a lot, and it's an idea you'll find sort of fleshed out in my book, This Is How Your Marriage Ends, which just came out a couple weeks ago. It'd be so awesome if you got a copy, if you felt like learning more about this stuff. So anyway, in 1943, a psychologist named Abraham Maslow introduced this model, which you might remember from high school psychology class. Sorry I don't have fancy graphics, by the way. I am new to this whole making videos thing, as you can obviously tell in my fancy Professor Jackie hair. And Maslow created this pyramid to depict human need, that we need these things in order to live our best life. And there's an important idea about Maslow's hierarchy. It is that we need to satisfy the level at the bottom before we can graduate to the next level. And then we need to satisfy level 2 of the pyramid before we can graduate to level 3. So if you don't have basic needs, air, food, water, shelter, you don't care about whether you're going to miss the season finale of your favorite TV show or, anything. Anything at all. We need basic needs in order to graduate to level 2 of the human needs pyramid. And the vast majority of us, fortunately, have our basic needs met. So level 2 of the pyramid is safety. And I think most of us think of safety as like a bear chasing us or like a bad guy breaking into our house. And when those things happen, we don't feel safe. And then we need to reclaim safety before we can start focusing on the upper levels of our human needs journey in life. This model can absolutely be applied to your relationships as well. And I think it's really important. So many guys that I work with, and so many people, because this is not always like a man-woman thing, but just human beings. But again, statistically speaking, it's usually guys. They're trying to connect with their relationship partners on level 3 of the pyramid. This esteem and belonging level, which means this idea of we need friends, we need family, we need community, we need tribe, we need to feel like we're a part of something as a general human need in order for us to fulfill living our best life. That's level 3 of the pyramid. And when I think about if this were to be superimposed on relationships, level 3 would be physical intimacy, dating, going to parties, all the things that we do for fun, all of the things that you did in your dating relationships when you first met your relationship partner, all of the ways in which you connected and you sat around having drinks, talking, watching TV, going to bed together, whatever the thing was that you did, those are level 3 things. And I think when relationships start to sour, when conflict gets introduced, when it starts to feel like there's disconnection and there's apathy, anger, pain, sadness, whatever, I think a lot of guys are trying to connect with their relationship partners on level 3 of the pyramid when safety is gone. The relationship shit because safety is gone. And we're going to talk more about that in a second. But please, turn your mind to I'm going to think about making my relationship partner feel safe in this relationship. Making sure that that is satisfied, that she or he is absolutely, I feel safe and secure in this relationship. I don't have any concerns or doubts about whether it's going to be here tomorrow or whether it's this toxic thing that's bad for me. If those conditions are met, then I suspect you can go on dates and vacations and go to bed together all the time, and it's like a non-issue. But I really, truly believe the absence of safety and trust is the condition responsible for this idea of my partner is never happy with anything I do, no matter what. And so safety doesn't just mean I'm not getting punched, I'm not getting shot at, I'm not getting cut, I'm not in a fire. Trust doesn't just mean that person doesn't cheat on me, that person speaks truth when he or she, says words out loud. Safety and trust can also mean this idea of reliability, sustainability, consistency, and it's the way I think that we should think about it. Because I know that when our wife or girlfriend, if I'm talking to guys here, are saying that they don't feel safe with us, that they don't feel safe in the relationship, it's so easy to write that off as the, crazy ramblings of a hypersensitive, wife or girlfriend, only because that's what I used to do. And it wasn't okay. They're saying this relationship doesn't feel like something I can trust. You don't feel trustworthy to me. You don't feel consistent or reliable to me. I don't trust that this relationship is going to be here 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or maybe worse. If it's here, it's going to be really bad for me. It's going to be even more painful than it is right now. And so, how do we destroy safety and trust in our blind spots? It's the same stuff that I talk about all the time, which you may or may not be familiar with. But the first idea is consideration. I intentionally, habitually, mindfully am thinking about my relationship partner all the time, every day. It's a default setting rather than my old one, which was to not ever sort of calculate for how she would experience the dish I left by the sink or the piece of laundry I threw on the bedroom or the marker that I threw on her floor. I have to think about what she will think and feel when she walks in a room to encounter some piece of evidence that I left for her. And the thing as her relationship partner that I want her to feel is loved, cared for, respected, honored. And dishes by the sink and laundry on the bedroom furniture or an unmade bed or a toilet seat left in the up position or whatever just might, depending on who she, he, they are, might communicate I didn't think about them, that I didn't respect them, that I didn't take an extra minute to truly consider how they would feel when they walked into that room and found this piece of evidence that I either did or didn't think about them. It is not that we are bad people doing bad things. It's this absence of awareness about what someone else will think and feel when they encounter something. And it's so important. And so this happens constantly. It's a human being thing, and we all do it to a certain extent because we're imperfect, and that's fine. But where things really turn to shit is when our relationship partner wants to communicate this pain that they feel. And that's when our second nasty habit kicks in, at least the one that I had and the one that might be affecting safety and trust in your relationship. And that's this idea of invalidation. When my wife would say, hey, Matt, something's wrong, I would disagree with what she thought, I would disagree with what she felt, or I would defend myself. One of those three things on autopilot as a matter of habit all the time. The goal was not to invalidate. I honestly disagreed with her. But the thing that I failed to calculate for was the trust erosion, the lack of safety she would feel if every single time in our relationship, she came to me and was like, hey, Matt, something's wrong. That her response from me was, well, if something's wrong, that's your problem. Don't make it mine. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm smart. I'm nice. I love you. I'm not trying to hurt you, so you shouldn't feel hurt. When those are your response patterns, and when you don't honor the things that matter to them, even if they present really small, like a dish by the sink or a piece of laundry in the bedroom, then somebody hears my partner will always choose what he or she thinks or what he or she feels over me every single time something's wrong, and I go to try to recruit them to help me make the bad thing go away. We always choose our beliefs or our feelings over theirs if we have this invalidation problem. When we do that, a person over time gets their trust gets paper cutted over and over and over again. And after 5 years, after 10 years, after 15 years, safety in the context of sustainability, reliability, consistency, and frankly, physical pain for a lot of people, physical, emotional pain, mental pain, because of this dynamic that I can't trust my relationship partner. He or she simply does not seem to care about me, love me, respect me. Even if they do, their behavior doesn't mathematically result in anything that feels like that. So regardless of their beliefs and their intentions, I still feel bad. I still feel unsafe. I don't have trust in this relationship. And that's when people start to make decisions about doing something else with their life. And I used to think that was like really petty and really selfish on the part of my wife. And now I get it. Now I understand. She made a responsible choice by ending our marriage and by living a life in which she wasn't going to be subjected to somebody who said, I'll always choose what I think and what I feel over you. So anyway, when your relationship partner is talking about this idea of, or you experience them, as not being happy with you, no matter what, please strongly consider that this dynamic is at play, that safety and trust are absent in your relationship, and that the way to rekindle safety and trust in the relationship are nuanced ideas related to dishes and laundry and how we speak to one another when somebody says, I hurt. And again, if you want to explore those ideas further, you can visit MatthewFrey.com. You can follow me on social. You can read This Is How Your Marriage Ends. And I hope you will, because I think this stuff really matters, and I hope you do too. Thanks a lot. See you next time.